Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for another video on this hot as fuck Tuesday afternoon, August the 12th, 2025. Thank you all for watching right here on Metal God 669. And as always, make sure you like the video and subscribe right now. Alright, as always, when we get serious, no big introductions, no big spiel. We're gonna get right to the point. Now for those of you who have been watching me, you know this is a tribute channel to the faithful departed in the world of TV, wrestling, sports, pretty much anything really. And my last video was a baseball-related video for Ryan Sandberg of the Cubs, who passed away about a week or so ago. So check that video out, before this one, or whatever you want to do. It's your prerogative, but it is what it is. But today, flipping around, just flipping around social media, and I saw this, and I was like, wait, what? I had to double check, because, when you get people that die that are kind of important people, like Ozzy, like Hogan, and, people like that, you have to check TMZ, you have to check Google, and sometimes Google's a little bit off, but most of the time they're right. I would say 90% of the time they're right. But today, we lost a member of the TV family, and this show, I religiously watch this show. If you never saw the hit show from the late 70s, early 80s called What's Happening, an African-American show with a lot of great people, kind of like, I wouldn't say a spin-off of Good Times, but it was like, the African-American family, like Good Times, like Sanford and Son, which later, as you go further in the 80s with Family Matters and The Cosby Show, and all the African-American African-American TV shows that are out pretty much now. They've been very, very good, and they kind of got influenced by shows like Good Times, like Sanford and Son, like Family Matters, and so on and so on and so on. But What's Happening was one of those shows that was like Good Times and Sanford and Son. It made you laugh. Excuse me. Great characters like Fred Sanford and Della Reese and Jimmy J. Walker, Dynamite, and even a young, very young Miss Jackson If You're Nasty was on that show. Then she later was on Different Strokes, another African American show, even though Conrad Baines and Dana Plato and Mrs. Garrett, the first and second versions were all white people and everything. Not to be racist, I'm not racist saying that, but it was like an African-American type show where two African-American kids, Arnold and Willis, got adopted by a rich father, I don't know what his profession was. He adopted these two poor black kids, because I think their parents gave them away or whatever happened. And he raises them to be big, tall men. And it was a great show. Different Strokes, I thought, was a pretty damn good show back in the 80s. What you talking about, Willis? Stuff like that. But What's Happening was great. I loved Raj. I loved the characters in the show. Hey, Raj! Just a great show. But one of the members of the show, and it was, I believe, Raj's sister, passed away today at the age of 60, and her name was Danielle Spencer. And, she was just a cutie patootie on the show. She played Dee Dee, or Dee, on the 70s hit show What's Happening. Died at the age of 60 today following complications from that deadly disease, the C word, cancer! Fucking cancer! As Ozzy would say. So, another cancer casualty hits us hard, and I didn't even know she was sick, but Danielle Spencer, who played T. Thomas on one What's Happening has passed away today at the age of 60. Her longtime friend and former co-star, Haywood Nelson, a.k.a. Dwayne, not Raj, but Dwayne, the other guy, from the sitcom, tells TMZ Danielle passed away last night, actually, in a Richmond, Virginia hospital with her mom, Cheryl, and her jazz musician brother, Jeremy Pelt, by her side. So that had to hurt for her mother and her brother and the rest of her family and friends. That's that. Haywood says he was in Dallas when he got the heartbreaking call, telling us he always saw Danielle as his little sister. The two last spoke just 2 weeks ago on the phone, and said she sounded upbeat at the time, but, cancer just comes like that and just takes you away really quick. He also added Danielle had previously been in a car accident, and was in a wheelchair. That's not good. He honored Danielle on Instagram today, saying her battle had taken a heavy toll, but she's, quote-unquote, finally found her release from the clutches of this world and a body. So, not great news to hear with that. What's Happening ran on ABC from 1976, the year I was born, to 1979, which I saw a little bit in my early days, when I was a little bit hoaxer dude, but reruns, even rerun on What's Happening, was just a great character. Big fat, what was his name? Fred, I forgot his real name. It was Fred something. He was in a lot of videos. He was in a Dr. Dre video, I believe. No, not, I think he was in one Dr. Dre video. He was in a Snoop Dogg video for, what was that song he did, I forgot the name of the video, but they're all in, like, a 70s funk video. Can't remember the name of the video, but it's by Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound. But he was, like just amazing dancing. He would be on most of the time. Sometimes he would be on Soul Train, dancing on the Soul Train line. It was just great with rerun. But anyway, that's just side note. But like I said, I watched it in my early days when I was a little bitty hoaxer dude, all the way up to now. It's on Paramount Plus. You can watch it in reruns. It's just an amazing show. Danielle reprised her role in the 80s spin-off What's Happening Now, which was great, too, before leaving Hollywood in the 90s to become a vet. Wow, she's a veterinarian. That's pretty good. Very good, very, very, very good. So, that's all I got to say about that. So, my heartfelt condolences go out to the Spencer family, to the What's Happening crowd, to the fans, and just a heartbreaking loss for a woman who played a pretty iconic role in the mid-70s to pretty much the end of the 70s, and then in the 80s as well with the spin-off, which is just a great, both shows were pretty damn good. The theme song is even better, but not the greatest theme song in the world from the 80s or the 70s and the 80s. We all know that's Knight Rider, my eyes, but it is what it is. But to Danielle Spencer, rest in peace, and you're in that big TV hall in the sky with everybody else. Betty White and Alan Ludden and people like that. All the people from the 70s TV hit shows like Mork and Mindy, Robin Williams up there, probably just having a laugh with Rodney Dangerfield, Sam Kinison, that guy. The crazy man that Sam Kinison used to be. Just amazing up there, man. But to Danielle Fishel, rest in peace. I wish I had something to drink as my ceremonial toast, but I don't. But it is what it is. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave me your thoughts and opinions about Danielle Spencer. D. Thomas from What's Happening and What's Happening Now. Leave your comments down below. And like Chick Willie would say, we'll talk about it. And that's that. Speaking of wrestling, we'll talk about that later. Because I do have to run out to a doctor appointment. And I got some other errands to run. So I will be back a little bit later tonight. Or a little bit later. I'm supposed to do something. I'm probably going to do it Thursday. So I don't have to worry. I'll figure it out. But Well, we'll see. We'll see. I do have errands to run. I got a lot of errands to run. So I'm going to try... before we get to NXT tonight, I will do my Monday Night Raw review, because I want to get that out of the way. And then after NXT, we'll talk about Collision and TNA. I did TNA Ring of Honor already, so I thought I didn't do it. But so we'll talk about Raw and Collision later tonight. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll talk about NXT, get you ready for Dynamite. And then pretty much got one more day, which is Thursday. We'll talk about some things, and then do a TNA Ring of Honor review late Thursday, because Friday I will not be around. Like I said, if you've been watching me this past week, the last couple of videos, I am going to be incommunicado Friday and Saturday, and this is, part of the music part of my channel. I am going to see In This Moment in Jersey, and going to be doing some good stuff with them. And I don't have to prove shit to you other fuckers that watch my show. But I will be incommunicado pretty much most of Friday and all day Saturday. Maybe in the morning I might throw up a community post or two. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But pretty much from like 1 o'clock to like 10 o'clock, I'm not going to be really caring about YouTube. I'm going to be too focused on sound check, because I got the gig and everything. And I'm going to the concert, so pretty much going to be hanging out with In This Moment, some of the bands that are going to be with them, because it's the last day of the tour, for the Hell Hath No Fury tour, and then, pretty much after that, gonna have some lunch, and then pretty much just stay in the backstage area chilling, and then, after that, the show starts about 7 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock, probably around 7, I think. But In This Moment doesn't go on until last, obviously, because they're the headliner. So about, 9, 10 o'clock, they're going to go on. And then after that, I'm going to bed. I'm like, I'm out of here. I've seen you guys too much. I'm out of here. Good night, But, maybe go out for a drink at the bar with the missus on Saturday night. And then you know what happens after that. But I don't have to tell you that. And that's it. And then Sunday, you're going to have some continental breakfast, and then get out of Jersey. And then I'll be back probably Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, with your SmackDown and Collision reviews, I should say. I might do Triple Mania. I'm not sure on that yet. I'm not obviously watching the show Saturday night, because it's at 9 o'clock, and by that time I'm watching In This Moment kick ass on the side of the stage. But it is what it is. But in any case, I gotta get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, peace.